production, the rise and fall of a comedy giant. The Housefull franchise was once the king of slapstick comedy in Bollywood. With a combination of mistaken identities, quirky love stories, over-the-top villains, and chaotic climaxes, the earlier parts brought mass audiences to theaters. From 2010 to 2019, Housefull 1 to 4 delivered box office magic even when logic was absent. But in 2025, Housefull 5 arrives not with fireworks but with confusion. The question arises, is this the end of the road for this franchise or just a misstep? The star power, familiar faces, forgotten charm. Let's talk about the ensemble cast. Housefull 5 is packed with stars. Akshay Kumar returns as the series face, still energetic but trapped in the same old comic antics. Ritesh Deshmukh again plays the clueless sidekick, but his jokes have aged. Abhishek Bachchan, replacing Bobby Deol, tries to bring freshness but ends up looking confused. John Abraham, who returns from Housefull 2, is more brawn than humor. Nawazuddin Siddiqui surprisingly appears in a comic villain role, but his brilliance feels wasted. Female leads like Kriti Sanon, Pooja Hegde, Jacqueline Fernandez, and others look glamorous but lack screen depth. They're mostly used as romantic pawns or dramatic screamers. 3. The story, a tale of 3 jollies or 3 headaches. Housefull 5 starts with an ambitious plot, 3 characters named Jolly, each with different pasts and fiancés. There's a haunted palace, an international mafia, and even reincarnation jokes. The script tries to juggle everything, comedy, thriller, fantasy, even meta humor, but ends up losing control of tone and logic. Plot summary. Akshay's Jolly is a royal chef mistaken for a prince. Ritesh's Jolly is a scammer who pretends to be a businessman. John's Jolly is an ex-army man who suffers from memory loss. Their paths collide when their weddings are planned at the same venue. The confusion begins and never ends. Direction, Tarun Mansukhani's derailed vision. Director Tarun Mansukhani, known for Dostana, attempts to blend slapstick with suspense. But instead of delivering freshness, he ends up making a chaotic remix of past Housefull films, where he fails. Scenes lack rhythm and timing. Emotional beats are forcibly inserted, comedy becomes too loud and tiresome, characters appear and disappear without purpose. It feels like Taran tried to handle a comedy circus with a serious tone and the outcome is disjointed. 5. The writing, punchlines without punch. One of the biggest failures of Housefull 5 is its dialogue writing. The punchlines that once made people laugh now feel dated and recycled. Examples. Jolly हो या folly, सब same है bro, repeated ad nauseum. मैं इन हूँ असली jollies, तू तो copy वाला golly. It's meant to be funny but lands flat. Where there is jolly, there is confusion. The tagline repeated in every second scene. There is little cleverness or wit. The dialogues feel like forced rhymes that try too hard to be funny. Comedy, loud, repetitive, and exhausting. Earlier Housefull films knew how to balance stupidity with laughter. But this time, the stupidity overwhelms the humor. Types of comedy used. Slapstick scenes with banana peels and bathroom gags. Identity swap confusion done repeatedly. Ghost jokes with Nawazuddin that resemble YouTube spoofs. Forced raps and parodies with zero relevance to the plot. Exotic locations, flashy sets, and over-the-top costumes dominate the screen. Locations, Paris, London, Rajasthan palaces, all shot beautifully. VFX used excessively, especially in ghost scenes and flashbacks, but these visuals feel hollow. The screenplay doesn't support the grandeur and it ends up being a stylish yet soulless affair. Music, beats that beat you down. Music has always been a staple of Housefull films, but this time the soundtrack is underwhelming. Songs review, Fugdi rap, an awkward rap folk fusion that tries to go viral but becomes meme material. Shadi Shudh Love, a wedding number shot in 4 countries but emotionally empty. Jolly Jolly, the theme song that keeps playing like an alarm tone. None of the songs are memorable and the background score feels loud rather than engaging. 9. Performances trapped in loops. Let's dissect the key performances. Akshay Kumar still gives energy but lacks new material, looks tired in parts. Ritesh Deshmukh, his comedic instincts are intact but poorly written scenes limit him. 10. Franchise fatigue, same formula, lesser impact. 11. Audience expectation versus reality. The trailer promised a roller coaster comedy with a larger than life feel. The actual film is a tedious ride filled with bumps. 12. Box office strategy, star power over storytelling. The film was released on a festive weekend to cash in on holidays. It opened strong due to hype but dropped sharply due to bad word of mouth. 13. Social media backlash when memes hurt more than help. Within hours of release, had Housefull 5 disaster started trending. YouTubers uploaded why Housefull 5 fails in droves. On final verdict. Housefull 5 tries to be chaotic comedy but forgets the heart. The laughter feels forced, the confusion unbearable, and the performances tired. Rating 2. 5 1 star for effort, 1 for Akshay's energy, nothing more. 15. The climax, a rushed and confusing finale. The climax of Housefull 5 follows the exact same chaotic pattern as its previous parts, a tangled mess of characters, overlapping story arcs, and forced resolution that leaves the audience more exhausted than entertained. 16. The missing emotional arc, only surface level drama. There are moments in the film that pretend to be emotional, romance, brotherhood, family drama, but they never go beyond the surface. Akshay Kumar's relationship arc with his love interest turns into a running joke. Romantic tension is replaced with awkward comedic situations, which kills the charm. Direction, Tarun Mansukhani misses the mark. Director Tarun Mansukhani, best known for Dostana 2008, seems completely lost in this outing. His attempt to make a larger-than-life ensemble comedy falls flat at every corner. Audience reaction in theaters, boredom and disappointment. When Housefull 5 hit theaters, it initially generated buzz and filled seats. The brand name was strong enough to pull people in, but that illusion didn't last long. In some cinema halls, audience members reportedly started scrolling through Instagram during the film, a clear indicator of how disconnected they felt. Nasikyantitin. Social media reaction, memes versus ratings. Housefull 5 became a double-edged sword for meme creators. On one hand, it was a goldmine for meme content. On the other, it was a disaster for serious film reviewers. The infamous Fugdi rap sequence sparked a meme wave across Instagram and YouTube shorts, mostly mocking how absurd it was. Dialogue writing, a case study in lazy screenwriting. If there's one element that reflects the downfall of Housefull 5, it's the dialogues. What once used to be quirky and fun has now become a parody of itself. The Housefull universe, has the magic finally worn off? Let's evaluate the entire Housefull franchise at a glance. 22. The changing audience, expectations have evolved. Today's moviegoer doesn't just want slapstick. They crave smart writing, character arcs, and occasionally even moral subtext, something the earlier Housefull films ignored but got away with due to novelty. But in 2025, when viewers are used to OTT quality storytelling, shows like Panchayat, The Office, or films like Stree and Bhool Bhulaiya 2, a rehashed 2010 style comedy, just doesn't cut it. Housefull 5 attempts to run on old fuel in a modern race, and the engine stalls midway. 23. Will Housefull 6 happen? Predicting the franchise's future. The Housefull brand still has value. It's iconic, recognizable, and commercially viable, but only if the lessons from this disaster are taken seriously. If Housefull 6 is to work, 3 things must happen. 1. The script needs a total overhaul. No more mistaken identity plots with 10 plus characters. 2. Actors need meaningful characters, not just caricatures spouting rhyming lines. 3. The humor must evolve, embrace wit, satire, and even subtle emotional beats. If not, Housefull 6 could become the final nail in the franchise's coffin. 24. Final verdict, a tired joke. Housefull 5 is a film that tries desperately to be funny but ends up being the punchline itself. It didn't make us laugh, it made us sigh. Every element from acting to direction, dialogue to editing feels like a clown with a painted smile but tears underneath. It's loud without joy, busy without clarity, and comic without content. Watching Housefull 5 is like going to a circus where the jokes are on you. Should you watch Housefull 5? If you're a loyal fan of the franchise and want to relive the absurdity, maybe once for nostalgia. Otherwise, you're better off rewatching Housefull 2 or just skipping this entry entirely.